later.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Sebastian Cosby, right out of Oklahoma City. I got my co-host over there, Wolf, Ava Gore. I said that weird. Joining us tonight. And then I got Issy from the band High Score. And for the first time ever, I think we have the band's manager, Mike, is joining us. Issy is from Las Vegas. Mike's out in LA. So very cool to have you guys both on the show. Christian, who is the other duo in the band. There's some technical difficulties. All night's have been kind of a little bit weird, but we made the show happen. So, that being said, super long intro. Issy, how are you doing, dude?
I'm doing good, man. Just been recovering, actually. I was in hospital with COVID for a week earlier this month.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like something like that.
I think you were just a while. For a couple days last week.
Oh, yep. I had to go back. Singing too hard and kind of fucked up my lungs a little bit.
Oh, man. Well,
so
glad you're doing better.
Yeah, me too, dude. That's super scary. Now, I don't know if we should talk about this, but I'm going to ask anyways. Were you vaccinated before you had COVID, or were you not?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't vaccinated, and then they told me they gave me a time frame, like 60 days from when I had COVID to be able to get vaccinated. So I can't get vaccinated within that time frame.
Oh, they didn't tell me that.
Oh, really?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But all right, let's go to the band High Score. Now, look, your guys' name is incorrectly spelled on here, so I do want to apologize for that. The correct way to spell it is H-I-G-H, and then score, I think, with a 0 on it. Correct?
Yeah. Well, that's just how we usually do it for like tags and stuff. But yeah. Okay,
and you guys are a fairly new. No, it's pop band, kind of R&B also at the same time. I kind of think so with your vocal styles. So how long has the duo been together?
Well, we released our first single last year around this time. Yeah, our first single, Blame, we released at that time. And then we kind of it was kind of slow during the COVID season, you know. So we were just writing. We've been writing and getting some music videos together and stuff like that. Then we met Mike, and that's once we started. That's when we started, really getting the ball rolling.
And when did you meet Mike?
Me and you met in person for the first time in March.
Yeah.
It
was around March. Yeah.
Christian, I think, just added me on Facebook like 2 years ago when I was on tour. I think with Animals as Leaders. And he hit me up and was like, "Oh, I'm coming out." At this time, we never. I met him and Christian at the same time in person for the first time.
Okay.
So I was on tour managing Animals as Leaders, and me and Christian had a bunch of mutual friends, and Christian added me. We would talk here and there, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm coming to LA," and I was like, "I have a guest room in my house," and I've always talked to him, I never had whatever. I'm very generous. I was just like, "You guys want to stay at my place? I have a guest room." I was like, "You can either share the bed," I was like, "or one of you can sleep on the couch." I was like, "I have a comfortable couch too." And they came here, and when they were here, it really wasn't brought up, and they were just asking me. I've been in music for 12 years. So I started I've toured and I work with Deadmau5, so I've worked on the management team with them for the last 2 years. So I know a good amount of stuff. There's obviously things that I could still learn and be better at. But sure. I invited them over, and they were kind of just asking me questions. Christian was like, "Well, how should we do this? How should we do that?" And I was like, "You should do this, 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 and this first." And Christian was like, "Do you want to just manage us?" And I was like, "Okay."
Well, and it's super cool when especially it's just two of you guys mainly in the band, right? It's just really just Christian and Issy, and Izzy's the front man, and Christian, I think, plays guitar, right?
Yep.
So your job as a manager makes it easier, I would assume, to only have to manage two guys. And it's kind of cool when something like that just falls in your lap, and they sound good. The band, they sound great. It's different from what we normally have on the show, which I really like. And once I finally was able to find you guys today, I was like, this is pretty cool. I fucking really, really dig your guys' sound. Absolutely dig it. So what was it always your guys' the two of you, when you first got together, he played guitar, you do vocals. Was it always something you had planned on doing, was this kind of style of music, or is that kind of how it just fell into place?
No, actually, we were in a band together a while ago, 2015. And we did pop punk stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a lot more pop punk stuff. After we broke up, it was probably about 2 years 2 or 3 years before we started writing again.
Okay.
Yeah, and so last year we started writing again, like really early in the year. Was it? Yeah, like last year, early in the year. Yeah, that's when we started writing again. We were gonna do pop punk again. We didn't really know what we were gonna do.
This is
in
not
that
close
genre
to pop
because it's
punk
a
at
huge
all.
genre.
It's not even close to pop punk.
No.
This style's not.
And I had some stuff that I was working on before that, and I had our song "Blame," and I was like, "What do you think of this track? Like, what do you think? Like, we can elaborate on this track. You know, put a little bit more of our spin on it." He liked it, and we kind of just went that direction from there.
Does Mike, and I'll ask Izzy this, and Mike, you can elaborate on it. Does Mike, because I know what like Sam does for me, and he provides structure. Do you feel like having Mike as your manager really helps you kind of stay focused on what you need to do to grow your band?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like before Mike, we were just kind of just writing songs. We didn't really know like what we were going to do as far as marketing or as far as like what the next steps would be and as far as releases and everything like that. And once we got with Mike, he was able to put like a whole team behind us and really give us that direction on where we need to go. And definitely we couldn't do it without Mike.
Mike, were they a hot were they a hot mess before you? Even though they probably had great music and before you joined, was it easy to get them structured into how you want them to grow as a band?
Well, I'm gonna say yeah, because like when I first started in music, I would literally like work with any artist. I would take any gig I could get just like to get the experience.
Right.
Since I've been in music for a good amount of time now, I'm very selective of who I work with, especially because I have so little time. Like my schedule is insane. So when like I've heard their music before, like Christian would send me like snippets and whatnot. So for me, taking on them as a client, I only work with people like if I'm gonna manage you. I manage 4 artists, and I only manage the artists that like I actually believe in, and like I love their music. Like I love synth, I love like pop music. I'm very diverse, so being that they were like a brand new thing and they had already been working together for such a long time, and like I genuinely love their music. Like it was easy to build a structure around it. Like obviously, you know, and it comes down to like marketing and whatnot. Like it's like the money. Like I always say this, and this is me kind of shitty to say, but you know, Billie Eilish or like Olivia Rodrigo. You know, me personally, I don't think there's anything like special about them. Like they're talented, but like there's so many other talented artists that could be better than them. It comes down to how much money you have to put behind the marketing, and that's why they're so big. So like I believe in high score so much that like because typically in management you don't put your own money into things.
Okay.
So I told him straight up, I was like, listen, I was like, when we're dropping this next song, when we're about to do this EP, I was like, I'll match whatever you guys are going to spend in marketing. Like I'll pay for it out of my pocket, and then we'll recoup it later. So I think it was easier to put together, you know, a plan and whatnot because they were brand new, and like because of the connections that I have and the knowledge that I have, I think it's easier than it would be if they were doing it by themselves.
And I want to say hi to Mary. White says hi. So hey, Mary.
Hey,
I know
Mary.
her. So then, Izzy, was it exciting for you? Now, with you know, even before I said that, with the pop punk band you were in. Did you guys have a manager for that group, or is this all new to you?
No, we were working with a few different people.
Okay.
Few like A&R for Warner, and then we had a couple others that we were working with. A couple people from other record labels that wanted to work with us, but we were kind of just doing our own thing at that time. We had a direction when we were in that band. We had a direction that we were going, that we were heading in. Like I said, we were working with an A&R at that time, but never management like this. So yeah, like the management side of it is kind of new to me.
Does this music that you're doing now feel more at home to you?
Oh yeah. I grew up singing like Michael Jackson. Prince.
You reference Billie
Usher.
Jean, I think, in this song, don't you?
Yep.
You reference Billie Jean. Yeah, I heard that. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, I heard the song.
Bad Beat It and Billie Jean.
Oh, all 3 of those
all in the
this
same
song?
line.
That's cool, man. That is neat. So like I said, it's not a pop punk song. I'm gonna go ahead and play this song. It's called Contagious. It just came out like not too long ago, right?
2 months ago.
So fairly new.
Something like that. Yeah.
Cool, man. Let's check out the song. We'll talk about it, and we got some more questions. Here we go with Contagious. Let's check it out.
I got it, baby. Contact got me up, it's about to go down. If you keep showing me how you want it, like you wanna get loud, I'ma hop in it. Yeah, we'll be the run in the town. So sick until we make it physical. Strangers came to play, exchanging DNA. Contagious, addicted when I play with your body, baby. Up all night to call your name, catching on to your wave. Oh, it's contagious, contagious, yeah, contagious. Not the type to fall quick, but it's too late. Now I can never find the words to say. Elevated by your energy, yeah, catching on to your body high. In the air, breathing slow, I'm coming down under your weather. Now I need the medication, you got it. Now I know what you're thinking, so I'ma hop in when we get to isolation. We're so sick until we make it physical. Strangers came to play, exchanging DNA. Contagious, addicted when I play with your body, baby. Staying up all night to call your name, catching on to your wave. Oh, it's contagious, contagious, yeah, contagious. Not the type to fall quick, but it's too late. Now I can never find the words to say. Elevated by your energy, yeah, catching on to your body high. Beauty queen, bad like Billie Jean, yeah. She want me to beat it, so I'ma beat it. I'ma beat it. Let's run away from here just for a minute, so I can beat it. I'ma beat it. Contagious, addicted when I play with your body, baby. Staying up all night to call your name, catching on to your wave. Oh, it's contagious, contagious, yeah, contagious. Not the type to fall quick, but it's too late, yeah. And now I can never find the words to say. Ooh, elevated by your energy, yeah, addicted to your body high. Contagious, contagious. Addicted when I play with your body, I wanna move through your body, baby. Staying up all night to call your name, yeah, catching on to your wave. Oh, it's contagious. Your wave is a wave, contagious, yeah. You're contagious. Touch me, baby, give me what you got. I can never find the words to say. Elevated by your energy, yeah, catching on to your body high.
All right, is everybody back here? Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Let me put this overlay back on real quick. Awesome song, dude. I love it. I love that we get to play that on this show. It's just, I love the diversity that you guys bring to the table with the style of music that you guys have for me, for my audience, and just for you guys being fucking an awesome duo. Did Christian, I know he's not here, but if he was here, think of what he would say and answer the question. Did he have to change his guitar style to match the new style for high score that you guys are doing?
Actually, no. A lot of the stuff that he writes, we just we take that and then we put it into, we put it into a beat. We put a beat around it, and then come up with some lyrics or something like that. It just depends. But no, honestly, I like him to keep his same style that he has. That way it gives more of that like diversity. But we alternate on like writing guitar parts also. So
have you guys been able to play live because of the pandemic at all?
No, we actually haven't done anything live yet. Right now we're still writing, trying to get all of our music together, get our show together and everything like that since we're so new.
Right. Do you have?
We haven't had anything lined up yet.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask if there are like any plans for the future or
Working on it.
Yeah, definitely working on it.
Or if you're gonna hire like a drummer or just like have. Nah, but you probably don't have a plan for that. Anyway.
Yeah, we do plan on hiring like a drummer for live. It'd be drummer, us two, and then I do a lot of like synth stuff. So I'm gonna be doing that live.
Okay.
But yeah.
Mike, how hard is it to find a band that's so new, hasn't done a show yet? Now, previously they have, but hasn't done a show yet. How hard is that as someone who's finding talent to manage? How often do you come by just like a brand new band's like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, that song sounds radio ready. Like it's produced well. The beat is awesome. Like the video is shot. One of my favorite parts of the video, I think, is when Christian has like a guitar and like throws it around his shoulder all like romantically in the middle of like a song.
Christian directed the video. Like he filmed the whole thing.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
How hard is it, Mike, to find bands like that are just brand new and just starting out?
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily hard to find artists like that because like for me, I love finding new music and like I love when people send me stuff. Well, within reason. I hate when people send me stuff for me to like give my opinion on because 9 times out of 10 it's trash, which is really rude to say, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right,
but like
right.
There's definitely a lot of talented people, and when we start talking, like I've loved their music before I even got brought in. Like I said, Christian would send me stuff, and I'd be like, I would always text him, be like, "Hey, yo, when's the next thing coming out?" I'm like, I need a new song.
Right.
So I don't think it's necessarily hard. It's just more hard, like when you have a talented band, but you know how difficult it is in the music industry that there's, it's a 1 in a million thing. And it's really, again, for me, in my opinion, it comes down to, it's basically, I'll put it this way. I'll only put in the amount of effort into a band as they put into themselves. If I'm working with you, if you're not going to be, as into it, I'm not going to be as into it because why should I work harder for you if you're not going to work to like, create and whatnot. So it comes down to how much money, like the marketing, because with social media, like TikTok and all that, you have one fucking song that's catchy and people are like doing dances to it. And then that's how it gets big. Like Jack Harlow, that's how he got big. Or, a couple others, that's how they got big. And it's not hard to find them. It's more so when you do find them, it's hard to get them to where they should be.
Right. That makes sense, man.
Like going with radio, it's like that you have to pay for that. We got quotes from a couple different things that was like $8,000 a month. And I'm like, they're a new band starting out. Like we don't have that to put in, so it's difficult. I mean, luckily, not to, how they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of people, and luckily, I can reach out to some people. Like one of my friends is a promoter up in Portland, and he was like, "Oh, I love their music. Send me their stuff. Like, let's see if we can get them on the show."
See, I think it's of course the music industry has been around for fucking forever, right? But I think it's kind of crap that it costs so much to be on radio, or that they even charge you to be on radio, because not every band I don't think has to pay. Like if you're super good, but I guess as long as this quality's good, even if they're new, they'll play them. You just got to pay to play, pretty much.
Pretty much, and like I'm not a big fan of like pay to play for shows. Like I'm not a big fan of buy-ons for tours because I just don't think that's fair necessarily. I understand it because like you want to get on something with a bigger act that hopefully people will like your music. And I toured with a band called The Midnight, who's probably they're my favorite group to work with. I love all those guys. Like I just saw them on Saturday in San Diego, and I reached out to their management because they're doing a tour, and I was like, hey, we want to play a couple of these shows. Like, would you guys be interested? And I threw out a number, and it was like a low number. Like we had a cap of what we would spend, and unfortunately they came back and they were like, we would love to work with you and do something with you, but like we already have our support acts and whatnot, and it's understandable. But for them, like literally, I'll tell them like I've told them before, like we need to do anything we can to get you guys out there as much as possible, because not to say that he's, you know, imitating or whatever, but like he's got the voice that's like The Weeknd and Michael Jackson mixed, and people love that. You know, so my opinion, because they're so good and so talented, and I love their music, like I want to get them in front of everybody.
Who would you put? And I'll ask both of you guys this question. Actually, I'll ask Izzy first. When you guys when you imagine doing a concert or playing a show, what kind of style of musicians or bands do you envision yourself playing with? Is it more like the R&B pop, or are you kind of going to go more soft alternative?
I would say, I don't know. It just depends on. I don't know. I guess it just depends on all the acts on the bill. But I would say more of like the pop side, for sure.
Okay.
There's this band. I don't know if you heard of Chase Atlantic.
Maybe.
They do kind of like some.
You know them, maybe?
It sounds familiar.
They're more like R&B-ish.
They played on the last World Tour, and then they're from Australia.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. But yeah, I would say more like an R&B band or something like that.
And Mike, would you agree with that as their manager, more kind of that way, or would you put him in more with the rocks, kind of a rock?
No, the way like with their music, I would say that they could essentially, you know, do either genre. Like you know, they could play in the synthwave world, and they could play with the Midnight. They could play with Essinger, you know, and people like that. And I think it would be great. Like their new stuff, like the songs that aren't out yet that they've sent me their demos, are like bops. Like I listen to the one demo probably 5 or 6 times a day because it's that good. And like, but I feel like I don't want to put them in a box. I don't think they'd be in a box. I think they could play in like the synthwave world. I think they can go to the pop world. Like I couldn't see them open up for like Charlie XCX or like, you know, Kim Petras or other artists in that era. I don't think that they're just going to be stuck into one genre. Do I think they could play like with the rock world? Not really, for the sheer fact that it is more R&B, pop, and synth, which is great because it's blowing up right now, and every band is like doing that. But I can
even metal bands are starting to do that a little bit. I mean, did you bring me the Horizon? Is definitely has some pop elements to it. I don't know if you heard it, but
I hated the last single they came out with. But like that band Emerosa, you know, when like, they were all like rock music and whatnot, but their last album Peach Club is like in the same line. Like they could play with Emerosa. So there are certain rock bands that they could play with, but I would probably say that we would stick more so to the pop, the synth, and like that kind of world.
Does Christian play any? Does he go? Is there any hard guitar at all, or like distorted guitar, as far as like a little bit of, you know, like a drop D, or is it mostly just kind of mellow, like this song we just played?
We have some upbeat stuff, but it's more like the guitar is more like funky or stuff like that. Just like little licks, little riffs and everything like that. Okay. There's nothing, I don't think we have anything really that has any like hard guitars like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a demo, an old demo that we actually repurposed into like a more pop song.
Okay.
That's cool. We
might.
might.
I love the. Are you talking about live camera action? Yeah. I love the original version. It's like a pop punk upbeat. I love it. And I was like, you guys should release that too. And he was like, no. I was like, okay. I was like, I have it, so I can enjoy it.
That might be a hidden track somewhere.
I think funk is like super important in music. Like we're labeled as electro goth, but I don't really like that label. But like we have funk in it, and we get shit on so much for it because like the goth community doesn't like funk. It's not goth enough, but like it's fun, you know. Why not have fun there?
You know, you gotta have things.
That's what I would say. Is like, go ahead, Issy.
No, I was just saying it's okay to add a little bit of everything. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Like you said, music is music. Like if I like something, like I don't care who it is. Like my favorite band is Kiss. So like when I was in like elementary and middle school, I was like that kind of fan that was like, Kiss is the only band that exists. Nothing else is good. And I got made fun of all the fucking time. Like, oh, you know, you like Kiss, this and that. But like, if I like something, I like something. So like, I love pop music. I love fucking dance music. Like, I listen to metal. Like, I was listening to Alpha Wolf on my way home, and then switch it to Kylie Minogue. So it's like, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah,
dude. Look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna send you one of my songs from Thrash Panda. No, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's again the final product done. All right, I do got to ask Izzy. when do you guys plan on? When do you anticipate? Do you know yet when you guys might start doing some live shows, or is that still up in the air? I know Mike's working on it. Are you guys still working on some new songs first? What's the plan?
They already answered that.
Yeah, right now.
But when they're going to play, though? Did they answer when they're going to play?
They don't have a plan yet.
No, we don't.
But if you ask it again, they might be like, well, okay, we'll tell you.
There's no shows booked right now. There is like a couple of things that I've like reached out to. I've reached out to a couple of like, so when I emailed the Midnight, their manager sent me.
See, hold on. See, listen, now we're getting a different answer. That's why you asked it again.
He sent me over a list of artists that were touring like in the same realm, because like I had sent them the new song before it came out, and I had sent them the video, and he sent me over a list of artists that were touring like in the beginning of next year. So I started reaching out to their management and seeing like, because we don't have a booking agent, like they're not there yet, so I'm not gonna reach out to any booking agents and waste anybody's time to be like, hey, this band that has no real numbers just yet. So I'm reaching out to a couple of different artist managers to see if we can get on a couple shows, maybe get like on a small run. And then, like I said, I'm reached out to a promoter up in Portland that potentially could get them on a show. So potentially their first show might be in Portland.
Nice. Hey, you know what? I think I could tell that the two of you as a manager and the band that he's managing, you guys have great energy together. I can tell you work well together. That's super important to kind of have that energy moving forward, you know. Without that, I mean, I know so many bands that, I mean, I don't know. I know some bands that don't like the managers. The managers don't get along with the bands. And that always makes it difficult. So getting along makes things a lot easier moving forward. Ava, do you have anything else you want to ask them before we go to closing?
Besides, I guess, live shows, what are your next plans in general?
For live shows. For live
well,
shows.
not for live shows.
No, right now we're still finishing up our EP that we're planning on releasing early next year, sometime. So we do a lot of our own production, but we just started working with the producer that's gonna help us with this next EP. So that's the plan right now. We've just been kind of slowed down a little bit because I was in, I had COVID in the hospital and everything like that. So kind of slowed us down. I'm not really able to sing too much right now. So that kind of slowed down that production part of it. But that's our plan right now. Just get that EP, finished and be able to have that ready by the beginning of next year.
Yeah, like right now we just released an acoustic version of Contagious on like all streaming platforms, and one of my other clients did an official remix. My other client's name is Black Jesus. It's like he's a DJ producer. So
with the V, the black with the V.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. BLVCK, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Wow, are you familiar with him?
I went to look up the band, and I went to their link tree. And when I went on Linktree, I saw a link to the Black Jesus. And
Black, did you hear that?
What?
You're known. He's at my But yeah, so we released the acoustic version. We released his official remix. And right now they're like, he's taking a break, obviously, to like let his lungs and whatnot heal. But we'll probably release one more single that we're going to put a lot behind marketing and really work that out, because the next one, I think we're in agreement of what it is. And it's a fucking bop. Like it's different than Contagious. It's much more upbeat, and you're just like, it's one of those songs where you just like roll the windows down and you're just like,
that's cool. I'm excited to hear it.
We'll probably release that before the end of the year and then ride that into the beginning of next year. And then next year, the plan is to release, a couple song EP and see how that goes, and hopefully get them on some shows and whatnot.
That's good. I know Christian couldn't be here. But just the little bit we talked before the show, you guys both have great personalities. Mike, you do too. So I can only see the band going up from here with the sound, the production. The music video is great quality. I mean, you got to be super excited about a brand new band and where you guys are headed. You can only move up, right, when you sound like that. So, and you guys, what?
Straight to the top.
Straight to the top, baby. Let's go. And you guys don't have, I would assume maybe you guys do. You guys have merch yet, or is that still also in the works?
Nope, not yet.
Dude, you know what's so cool about this? Look, I'm going to tell you what's cool. And then I'm going to end the show. What's cool about this, and I got excited, see, is here's a band and their manager that right now is not really known. No one really knows about you guys too much. And one day, in like 5 years from now, I want to be like, dude, I knew them back when.
You did the first
Here's the
interview.
proof. Do
We
what?
did our first interview.
Good. See, and that's exciting. No, it's cool, and I appreciate you guys coming on here. I know it was a little bit hectic before we started the show, but we had it. So thank you guys so much, everyone. Check them out. Check out High School. Like I said, it's HIGHSC0RE on Facebook. If you want to find, they're on Linktree. They got the YouTube videos. They don't have any merch yet, but they're going to get there. Keep an eye out for this super, super amazing band that's going to go places. I love it. Thank you guys so much. Go to www.theloudspot.net. Also go to patreon.com/theloudspot if you want to join our Patreon page. We're on Apple, iHeart, Deezer, YouTube, everything. And while we're on, give everyone a shout out. Check out Weird Wolves, Ava's band. They're fucking dope too. Electro goth, whatever, if you will. All right, High School.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there till after the outro song plays, and we're playing the outro song right now. Peace out, rock on, much love.
See you guys.
This is the Loud Spot outro by Nothing Short of Tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does Nothing Short of Tragic have his back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. A pin post has a pin show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.
Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to click the like and share button.
Don't forget to go to our YouTube and subscribe.
If you want to listen to our audio and pick up some cool merch, go to www.theloudspot.net. Peace out, rock on, much love.